Now I'm going to show you the steps for creating the geometric mean in Microsoft Excel. This example uses the Center and Spread Week 5 Excel spreadsheet that I created for you, and it is available in our course. It's also available through a link in the description for this video. Let's take a look at this data set, and we'll learn how to do that geometric mean. We will be using the tab Geometric. This is where all of the fun is going to happen. But if you want to see what the outcome will look like, you can always click on the secondary tab that shows you the results. All right, let's go back to our geometric tab. And the first thing that we are going to need to create is a growth factor. You see, a geometric mean is most commonly used with financial data, where the percentage return on an investment is also a function of previous levels of return. If you put in $100 and that $100 goes up to 110 and then it increases by 10%, that 10% increase is on the 110. And yet if you had put in $100 and it had decreased to 90 and then increased by 10%, even though that second year return was 10%, that 10% is going to be a different amount based upon the return from the first year. So what we need to have then is this growth factor value that will be used to weight the original numbers. It's going to give us an honest appraisal of just what the overall return was. So let's begin by creating the growth factor. The formula for a growth factor is in this box right down here. It is 1 plus 0.01 times the percentage. In the first return, we see a negative value. That means that the value of the investment dropped by 26% in the first year, but it was followed by an increase of nearly 40% in the second year. These growth factors are going to help us average out the percentage return to get the true return. So let's start in C2. We're going to use that growth factor. Again, start with an equal sign. The growth factor is 1 plus 0.01 times B2. The growth factor is a 0.73. A growth factor of 1 means the investment stayed at the same level. A value higher than 1 for your growth factor indicates growth. A value less than 1 indicates negative growth, which is a polite way of saying a loss. So this 0.73 growth factor tells us that we lost roughly 25% in that first year. Now we can copy this growth factor down the rest of the column. So I'll click on C2 and drag it all the way down to C11. And we can see in years where there was a negative return, we have a growth factor less than 1. And in years where there was a positive return, we have a growth factor that is greater than 1. See that here and here as well. Now we need to create some averages. We're going to start with the overall return mean. That value is going to go right here in H4. We'll start with an equal sign and then type average, open parentheses. I want the values in column B. Click return. The average return was a 7.09, or slightly over a 7% return. Now I'm going to get the average for the growth factor. That is equal sign, average, open parentheses, column C, close parentheses. Now for the growth factor, I need to get the average minus 1. Now click return. Now I see my growth factor mean was a 7.09. That's the same as the return from the previous. The geometric mean, however, is equal sign, Geomean, open parentheses, the geo mean of column C, close parentheses, minus 1. And return. The actual return on these investments was a 4.3%, not the 7.1% that would appear as we just average the growth factors. If your future employment is going to involve dealing with financials, then you are going to want to know how to use the geometric mean. And now you do. That was how to create a geometric mean in Microsoft Excel.